Alright, today is January 5th. It is a Monday. It is 9:20 in the morning. I am actually going to start my new job today over the holiday break. I accepted a position at a preschool, so I will be working full-time there. So markets will be kind of less often in this year. I'm still trying to do a couple markets every month, but we'll kind of see what every week and every month looks like from kind of here on out. I'm very excited to start this new job. If I leave right now, I will be like over 20 minutes early to my shift, and I just don't want to do that right now. All right, it is about 4 o'clock. It's 3:55. I got off work about an hour early, but today and this whole week is just training, which is pretty cool. So I can kind of focus on training and learning and actually asking the questions I have before I get in the classroom and actively be in the classroom again. I am going to spend about half an hour editing the footage from December 20th. So what you're going to notice with the vlogs is it went from like December 10th or 9th, and then all of a sudden we jumped all the way to December 20th. Something happened with my footage kind of in between the 10th and 20th. So for 10 days, any footage I have is gone. I had it all on a flash drive and my flash drive got corrupted. And so now I have no access to that footage. I am just going to kind of not care. I'm going to have to not care or else it's going to bug the crap out of me. But December 21st was the final day of the holiday market for 2025. I also don't have footage from that day. So the vlog that you're going to see from the final market footage is only on that Saturday. Today is January 6th. It's a Tuesday. It is day 2 of training at my new job, so we're going to kind of see how that goes. I am actually going to be doing like the health and safety training today. Apparently that's going to last all day because I'm supposed to get there at 8. It's 7:25. It is only a 20-minute drive, but it was icy last night, and we're just making sure that we get to work on time and don't have to stress. Today we were on a Zoom call doing our health and safety kind of stuff. So we went over like feeding safety and like, you know, how to safely get kids from place to place. And then I pretty much did all of the training videos I'm supposed to do, except for like one module. And the only reason I didn't get that one module done today, which I would have, was because like the iPad wouldn't let me do what I was supposed to do for the module, and it wouldn't let me like go past it. So my boss is gonna bring her computer tomorrow, and I'm just gonna, you know, make sure I get that one video, but I'm not sure what else I'm doing tomorrow besides that video. Today is Wednesday, January 7th. It's about 10:12 in the morning. I was supposed to be at my job today, but I only had one training left. I think I said that yesterday. I don't remember. But I only had a single training left, and it involved a computer because the way that it wanted you to like do the activities, the iPad wasn't doing. And she was just like, I totally forgot my computer. If that's your only training anyway, she's like, today just do your fingerprinting. So I called the fingerprinting place because on their website they did not have appointments for today. They were like, you know, your estimated wait time is less than a minute. And then it was like, your estimated wait time is 3 minutes. So I guess whatever problem they're working on right now is taking forever or something. I don't really know. But it's been about 20 or 30 minutes since I called. I'm gonna give them another 15-ish minutes before I call again. But for now, I am editing the footage from December 20th. So this was market footage. This is the last market footage I have from 2025. I am in clip like 5 out of 7 for this market. If you're ever curious what my editing looks like, I kind of show this on and off. This is my iPad. I do it all on iMovie. So it's really simplified on the iPad in the app. So it's about 11:36 now. I am on my way to the store because we need some Tupperware. We have that, everybody problem of we have all these containers but no lids for them. The fingerprinting place did eventually call me back, and basically they had no appointments for today, which I figured when I was like Googling it and trying to make an appointment on their website. They don't accept walk-ins, so I'm not even going to go there today. I go Monday. So I went to Target. I got some food containers, like Tupperware. They're in the dishwasher now. I got this in like the, dollar spot. And I was going to put my tea in it. And I got this silicone candy mold yesterday at Walmart. I'm going to make all 3 of these styles into magnets. Okay, and then we also got a package today. So we got Sharpies. We got these for the Shrinky Dink keychains we're making for Dino of the Month. If you're just now learning about Dino of the Month, every month I will have a different dinosaur as a magnetic bookmark, as a kind of a lot of different products. So magnetic bookmark, keychain, sticker, kind of things like that. So I got these little baskets for my table. When people come, they can pick up a basket. And then the final thing in the packaging are these. These are little clipboard like signs. They're like this big. They're pretty big, actually. And you clip it here to here. Then you clip this part to something. And the signs are bigger, so I can write bigger signs and all of that for my markets. We're gonna finish editing the final market footage that I have still of 2025. There's one more vlog afterward that will encompass aftermarket footage and the last couple of days of 2025, and then it'll be 2026 vlogs from there. So I think by the time you're seeing this, it'll be February, which is like early January for me, so that's kind of fun. So hopefully sooner than later vlogs will kind of get caught back up. Once they do get caught up, it'll probably be 2 videos a week at most, maybe down to 1 video instead of a video every 3 days like we've been doing. Okay, today is Thursday, January 8th. So today I did end up going to work, but only for about 4 or 5 hours. I had to finish the health and safety training for work, and then I just had to do the module. So I did that, and it only took me like 15-20 minutes. I stopped at my candle friend's house, Breathe Easy Candle Co. She will refill your candle jar at a discounted rate. So instead of like just buying a brand new candle, you take your old candle jar, you give it to her, she'll take it like shipping, or I just drop it off at her house kind of thing, because we're friends, but she'll take them, and then I give her all my empty jars. She cleans them out, puts fresh wax in them, and she lets me pick my scents, so that's pretty cool. It is about 2:45. I am going to work on editing, and then at 3:30 I'm going to shift and work from 3:30 to 4:30 on homework, because I have 1 chapter left to read for this week. And I know after this week it's going to be a lot more reading, so it's just going to only intensify. So I'm trying to get any good, like, go to work, come home, edit for a little bit, and then I have to spend an hour on homework. Our class is about teaching through a lens of the oppressed and anti-oppression teaching, which is really interesting because that was what I put on the website I had to do for my PE class last semester. So that's really cool to me. It is January 9th. It is a Friday today. It is about 11:30. I am heading to the game store. I just did some clinical hours for PE. I know I didn't get a whole lot of hours today, but like, her playing period's 3rd hour. I don't want to leave, go get lunch, kill 2 hours. I just went to the game store. I actually went to the Source in Roseville. They're really cool, really big, really amazing game and comic store. And because I'm in Rose, I'm at Makwa. Makwa is an indigenous-owned, family-owned coffee shop. It's women-owned too. I've done a few pop-ups here where it's just me popping up. And for Christmas, I got this thing called the Twin Cities Coffee Passport. So I'm gonna go in there and get a coffee. So let's go. Okay, I just got back home. I stopped at Source, which is a comic book and game store, and I picked up 2 paints, so I'll show you that in a minute. And then I stopped at Makwa, which is an indigenous-owned coffee shop, and it's woman-owned, family-owned kind of thing. So I picked up more Sterling mud because we decided we're both going to redo the bases of our first Charmies because honestly we didn't like them too much. And then he needed kind of like a highlight brown, so I picked up Strag Brown. So those are the 2 paints I picked up at the store. And then I stopped by Makwa Coffee. They are, like I've been saying, indigenous owned, woman owned, family owned. They're cool. And for Christmas, one of my presents was this. It's called the Twin Cities Cafe Passport. And when you open it up, it's got a whole bunch, I don't even know how many. It has a whole bunch of coffee shops that are local, like they're locally small business owned coffee shops. And so Makwa was in here and gives you like their information, like address, phone number, what city. Gives you a little blurb about them. There's a little QR code. Then they always give a recommendation, and this is their social media that they want you to go to. And then on the other side is a rating page, whereas the date, the item or items you got, and kind of your notes. Its kind of blurb is Makwa Coffee is an Ojibwe and queer-owned independent shop that centers community while serving high-quality espresso, cold brew, tea, lemonade, and drip coffee. Home of the Zygwan, I don't know, sugar maple cold brew specialty. They offer craft beverages made exactly how customers like them. The family-operated cafe welcomes everyone with indoor seating, a dog-friendly outdoor patio, free Wi-Fi, and ample parking in the locally owned space built on connection. So I chose the coffee that they were known for, which is coffee I got. It's like a maple sugar drink, and it's got some spice, but like it's a really good coffee. I used to do a lot of pop-ups there, like every summer. I've done at least 1 pop-up. They don't have a whole lot of space. I tried to film it, but I don't know if it ended up filming. But I don't know, they're overall really cool coffee shop. And I was over in Roseville anyway, and I was like, I know this place is like 10 minutes away from where I'm at. So I just popped over there. I need to do a couple of things before I start on homework. I need to eat a little bit of lunch. I need to take these candles that I picked up from my candle friend and put them away. I just started kind of working on my homework for the 3rd week of school. We're currently in the 2nd week of the semester, but next week's the 2nd week of the semester. So we're currently in the 1st week of the semester. I did the readings for week 2. Week 2 is an asynchronous week, so we have class every other week, but we have homework every week. So I already did the homework for week 2. I'm working on week 3. Because I know my schedule's about to get really, really busy, and I'm honestly gonna do what I always do with homework and just eventually kind of stop doing it. So we had to read Pedagogy of the Oppressed, and I had to read the 2nd chapter. I read most of it yesterday and took notes, and read the rest of it today and took the rest of my notes. And the chapter was really good. It was pretty much talking about the banking model of education, which is, teacher gives facts, teacher says something, kids memorize it, repeat it, recite, the test-taking standardized test kind of model of education. And he was talking about the problem-posing method of education. And with the problem-posing method of education, it's having students and teachers as learners together. And the teacher's not the expert, but the teacher's kind of like the guide. And that's really what we do in Montessori. So I see how this book can take what I already do within the classroom and make it better. The second reading is In Ruthless Equity. This book is a lot less theory dense and just more like a workbook instead of like a theory book. Pedagogy of the Oppressed seems more theory heavy, whereas Ruthless Equity, it kind of seems like it has more concrete examples. So I have to read chapter 2 in Ruthless Equity, and I'll check back in. It is 2:12 now, so we're going to see how long it takes me to read the chapter and take notes. I usually, depending on the book, either take notes at every section, or if there is no section, every 2 pages. So, okay, it is 3:02. I don't know what time I started, but I read chapter 2 in Ruthless Equity. It talked a lot about things like radioactive rhetoric, so things like saying like implicit bias or things like that. Like, it was just saying like there's a lot of social disapproval if you say like certain keywords. He talked a lot about selective and cosmetic equity. So selective is like, oh, we're gonna focus on the larger things in the world instead of what's happening in our community. And cosmetic equity is like, for example, putting a diversity section in the library kind of thing. He talks about things like equity used to be measurable and something we could, and now it's kind of just like a theory instead of like we talk about it as if it's this big overarching thing, as if it's, you know, something within America that we can't do, that we can't be equitable, that we can't do these things. And then it talks about certain leaders in education that he knew and how they were ruthless educators, kind of how they didn't let the excuses be excuses of why the school couldn't be equitable. They instead made it work and made it, you know, where there's not tracks, like, you know, a higher and upper track, things like that. So that was really cool. The next thing I either have one more reading, which is a printed out article called 5 Essential Components of Stumble. But it's an article, so I can either read this article, it's about 6 pages, it's like 2 columns, you know, per page, it's a lot. I think I'm gonna give myself a bit of a brain break and kind of like clean up around the apartment. The final thing of the assignment is to listen to a podcast. So I might just plug up my earbuds, put the podcast in, because the YouTube video he has for his podcast is just the logo there, so it's nothing to watch, and keep my brain entertained. So I think I'm going to hook up the podcast to my earbuds and kind of walk around and clean up the apartment for a little bit. I think you're curious about what a podcast is. His name is Dr. Sheldon Ekins. Looks like Ekins to me. It is a podcast called Human Restoration Project, and I have to listen to episode 115. It's 115. It is about equity, systematic change, and performative wokeness. So right now we're taking these Shrinky Dink Charms, and I put UV resin in this bottle, and we're going to coat these in UV resin. That is kind of the goal for the next hour. Let's start with the T-Rex. Okay, we have 3 dinos and 2 of the little tea bags under the light. We have 1 more dino and 1 more tea bag for the T-Rex collection. And then we are starting on February's Dino of the Month, which is the Triceratops. Now we are starting the Triceratops. This is the first Triceratops we have in. He's going to be a magnet. And we're finishing up the T-Rexes. I pull them off the tape when I know they're ready. Like they're just a little sticky. And then I can have more going at one shot. Nearly an hour later, these are the last 4 that gotta go under the light. And then we gotta make magnets and magnets. And these Triceratops keychains actually cannot be fully made till I get one more thing for them.